Alright, welcome to Reaction Theme Park Cam. This is the first video that... Actually, I don't remember what reaction video this is in like the Theme Park Cam series, but today we're going to be reacting to new Full Tour Universal Kids Resort. This is the first tour of the Universal Kids Resort that I've seen. I've not seen anything about, like, the fully built thing. I've only seen the concept photos, and I've only heard that this thing does not look good. So, I pulled up a tour, and let's just see how it looks. Yeah. The media preview? Okay. I wish I was invited to this. Hey, Universal, can you invite me to, maybe your previews soon? Okay, so starting off, definitely open, bright space, you know. It's not the best looking, but you know, you kind of expect that with Texas and with something along this lines. Not as much, don't mind the screaming in the background, but yeah, let's see. Alrighty, that's not too bad, you know. You got a Minions raft ride. That looks pretty fun. Minions versus Minions is that they're calling it. Overall, not bad. I would like to see it a little bit more shaded though. That's the only really complaint that I have about this right now, is that the park could use a little bit more shading. Also, I have this thing in 4K. So yeah, let's just... Okay, sorry, I had to bring it down from 2000 something p to 180p, which I think you guys still don't mind. It's still good quality. But yeah, overall looking good right now. See, so you got all of Minions vs. Minions, of course. Looks good, you know. Models look good. They're not like fully fledged animatronics, but still, if this is more towards a younger demographic, then I don't think they would mind it being kind of a, you know, more like in a model type way. Plus that they look funny. Yeah, Minions versus is this kind of like the land preview? Minions versus Minions. That's not the ride's name, or is it? I don't know. They've got a little restaurant called Boutique Bites. Overall, Minions Land doesn't look too bad from what I've seen so far. They've got the nice raft ride in them. Oh, they've got that cool effect. I love that effect when it comes to a raft ride, where they go like under. And also, I think that gets you extremely wet, doesn't it? Oh no, it skips right next to it. So I think like the waterfall would make you a little bit more wet, but that doesn't seem to happen. It's just like a little bit more of a shallow drop. Okay, younger demographic, not as scary of a ride. Yeah, you've got a photo op right there. Nice looking photo op. Of course, it might get, like, you know, a little bit worse over time, but that's fine. You got a little splash pad. Okay, a little place where they can they could put a little, I don't know. It looks fine. It looks fine. They got the Minion rocks. I don't watch the Minion movies, so I'm not really in the know about what these Minion rocks are. But yeah. And then they got the little splash pad Minion with the oyster. Or is that clams or I think those are clams. I don't know. I'm not in the know of the Minions. But nice look at that. We're gonna skip through a little bit. Okay, so we've got a like costume character. Of course, those are great when you're in a theme park resort. When you think of like a Six Flags, like in like the Texas area, you know, you have Six Flags, SeaWorld, Schlitterbahn. You don't really see costume characters. Well, of course, Schlitterbahn doesn't. But think of like SeaWorld and two Six Flags parks. You don't really see many like costume characters outside. So seeing something like this, and like the Peppa Pig Resort, seeing something like this is super cool. Bello Bay Cruise, I think that's what this raft ride is called. I would ride it, totally. Of course, the cast members look happy. That's all that matters. Nice. Everything looks nice. Now, I can see where people are coming from with this a little bit. it looks a little bland. It looks like it could use a little more. But at the same time, you know, it's towards a younger demographic. Shade, it gets very hot in Texas. You could use a little bit more shade. I can't agree with that fact. I do think that's the one complaint that I do have with this park right now, is that there is not enough shade. Please cover the areas a little more. But I mean, there's a lot of photo ops. That's what's fun. Younger demographic, you know, you gotta have. I'm saying younger demographic a lot because, you know, this is a younger demographic. You know, you got some nice ride. You got like little rides. Well, that's a small ride. You could fit. You gotta remember, this is towards younger children. So I'm sorry, I'm going on and on. I need to skip through this a little more. And yes, another splash pad. Okay, it does get a little repetitive where you just have a bunch of splash pads. You know, interactive moments, younger kid. Yeah, I'm gonna skip through this. It's, oh yeah, nice food too. Well, good looking food. Food that younger demographic would enjoy. But yeah, let's look at the SpongeBob area. You know, I saw something about the cardboard cutouts, which I don't think is the best, but still, it's some kind of theming in this area. Thinking of like Six Flags, you know, they do cardboard cutouts. Well, they do get criticized for their theming. I do think that it's still overall working. Costume characters again, of course. Okay, I don't want to bore you guys with my Oh, is this? Hold on, I'm skipping through it way too much. Is this Weenie Hut Juniors? Oh no, it's Goofy Goobers. Okay. Now you see, you can hate on this park all you want, but having a real life Goofy Goobers, that is good. And it serves like decent food. I'd say it's worth it. And then is this an ice cream? I think this is the ice cream shop. And then good looking food, of course. This is passable food at the theme park. It's good. And it's actually above average, I think. When it comes to Universal and their food, they do give above average food. So yeah. And then, you know, you've got a SpongeBob flat ride, looking great. What else you got? You got a bus, you know. It's kind of like, this park is kind of like if you took the kids area of a theme park, kind of like, think about Seuss Landing, Looney Tunes Land, Camp Snoopy, and then you turn it into an entire theme park. And, well, I do not think it is the most amazing choice in the world. I do think that it has potential to be a great idea, but it looks good. And then you got the splash water. I think the main thing that, because when you think of a theme park, there are supposed to be thrill rides at a park. You know, I think that people will be mad that there's no like big roller coasters at this park. And while I do agree that there should be like bigger rides as you get older, you know, I do think that this is, since this is towards a younger demographic, I think it is fine to kind of stray away from bigger rides. And kind of like, you know, they have a couple smaller coasters there, you know. Those can be considered thrilling to an extent. A lot of good merch here too. Yeah, that's one thing when you go to like regional amusement parks, like Six Flags Great Adventure, I've seen before. They don't have the best merch, but still. Even when I went to Castles and Coasters the other day, they had like a small amount of merch, like tiny, even though it's still like a pretty small theme park. You know, I do think having a good amount of merch is good. Plus, you have that's an interesting flat ride. I have not seen that. Kind of reminds me of the Schwarzkopf ride. Let's see. Now I'm wondering, is there a dark ride here? Where is a dark ride? Oh, I've seen this kind of ride. Reminds me of the it's the game at Disneyland. It's the Bullseye one. The Bullseye game at California Adventure reminds me of that. And you've got, of course, classic carnival games. We got Pineapple Paradise. A nice splash pad. We love splash pads. Alright, now we're on to Jurassic World Adventure Camp. Jurassic World Adventure Camp. I'm a big fan of the Jurassic Park IP and theme parks. Always thought they've done great with that. So I'm interested in seeing what they have in like a smaller version of it. So you've got Lookout Towers, smaller drop ride, you know. That's probably one of the more thrilling rides in the park actually, but still like a pounce and bounce kind of style. You got a Jurassic World Jeep, great photo ops, Supply Depot. So you got a Velociraptor puppet, double helix spin, Jurassic World Canteen. I can kind of see why there's a little bit of hate right now. It does just seem like each spot has like a couple flat rides and a place to eat. That's not the best formula. I can agree with that fact. But still, the food in each part looks great. And they do have a lot. This one seems to have a little bit more play area. A little bit more dry play areas. Last two had a bit more wet play areas. But now you see you have the Jurassic Park coaster. That coaster looks pretty good. Looks short, but still pretty good. And then Jurassic World Outfitters. Doesn't look too bad. Alright, now we're on to this part, kind of like the more Spanish section of the park. Puss in Boots. Kind of like the Knott's Berry Farm. The Knott's Berry Farm area. Or they had like the kind of a bit more Spanish architecture. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be fancy. I can't. I'm very bad with commentary on this stuff, and we're a little over halfway through the video. Swings over Del Mar, classic swing ride. You have you got a nice show, Puss in Boots show with the characters from the Puss in Boots movie. I didn't really watch the Puss in Boots movie. Great food too. That food looks amazing, and I think I can see the like plates that they're using are very similar between places, but the food looks great, of course. Got shops. All right, now we're on to a bit of a smaller part of the park, Shrek Swamp. Capitalizing on the new Shrek movie. It's coming out. I haven't seen the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer of the Shrek movie. We got the Shrek car ride. Okay, I heard about this one. I heard that this one's kind of like just cardboard cutout. It's kind of like, you know, flat ride regional amusement. Swamp snacks. Got Shrek and Fiona's Happily Ogre. Okay, yeah. This is the ride that they were talking about. Just like cardboard cutouts, places. I could have used an animatronic. You got a little splash pad, of course. Okay, it kind of gets a little old after you go through the entire park, kind of looking for something new. I think we're into the final final area, kind of. That's Troll Fest. You have another roller coaster. You got trolls and an amphitheater. Another flat ride. Sorry, I'm not used to talking this long constantly. Yeah, looks nice. We got some troll suites and some. Wait, is that where you can? Well, that's a little cool. You can get your hair done at this place. We got a Trolls play area, Trolls Fest, and nice food. Then the Isle of Curiosity. This one's Gabby's Treehouse. I'm sorry, I'm just skipping through this video. But yeah. All right, that was interesting. That was a place that was there. All right, I'm gonna give my thoughts on this because I think that there's quite a bit to unpack when it comes to the reaction to this and overall what I've seen. Definitely a good idea on paper. You have your largest demographic when it comes to a theme park is towards children, and especially with Universal and Disney, it's very hard to find that midline where the kids can have fun and the adults can have fun. So just creating a park for the kids allows you to have more of an excuse to, use these IPs like Minions, Gabby's Dollhouse, Trolls, and it allows you to use these to a much greater advantage. And then you add on to those more recognizable IPs. Like, people have been begging for more Shrek in theme parks again. Shrek, Jurassic World, and even SpongeBob has been wanted in another theme park for a very long time. So I can understand where Universal is coming from. But on the other hand, I can see where everyone else is coming from in this kind of situation. It does get repetitive after a while when you have just a land of just flat rides, maybe a small coaster, and then a restaurant. It's like, okay, where's something exciting? Where's the reason to come back to this park? Well, if I'm not a young child, then why would I go to this park? There needs to be something exciting, and that's what I think the biggest disadvantage is that there's not really much to do. And after a while, it like I've said, it gets repetitive. But on the other hand, I do think that since it's garnered towards a younger demographic, I do think that younger demographic will enjoy this park a lot more than, say, something like Universal Studios in Florida. But at the same time, you have those bigger rides for them to look forward to. Like, I'm gonna give an example. When I was young, I went to Disneyland a lot, and I had been waiting so long to ride Indiana Jones. And when I finally rode it, I was like, oh my god, it was worth the wait. And I wouldn't have really known about it until if I wasn't young. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at talking. I don't have a script here. I'm just going for it. Overall, I do think that this park, it does not deserve a lot of hate. It is a good idea, and it has it was good idea, or I'm actually going to give it was a good idea on paper, mid idea when it came out, with good execution. I think that this does have good execution. If you were to give it something like another operator, I'm not going to say names, not even Six Flags, I do think that they would have done a worse job. I think that Universal actually did the best that they could in this situation. I just think that there needs to be more at this park. There needs to be more things for the older kids to look up to. There needs to be a Big Bear Mountain themed roller coaster. And another thing is the lack of indoor attractions. Okay, I will get on a park here real quick. Cedar Point. Amazing roller coasters, but they have no indoor rides. So what if it rains? Does the whole park just shut down? So that's an issue I have with this, is that number one, there needs to be more shade, and number two, there needs to be more indoor rides. There needs to be dark rides. When people go to Universal in Florida, when they go to Disney in Florida and in Anaheim, they go for the dark rides mainly. Because there needs to be more dark rides at this park, and I know that dark rides are expensive, and I know that this park didn't have the budget to build insane dark rides. But at the same time, I think that there should have at least been a dark ride in each land for everybody to enjoy. Even a park Motion Gate in Dubai did it really well, where they had a lot of dark ride attractions, so that people would know. This park could have taken for inspiration from Motion Gate. I'm gonna look it up real quick. The Shrek ride in Motion Gate Dubai did really well, and I do think that they could have put a Shrek ride in this park. A Shrek dark ride, a SpongeBob dark ride, a Trolls dark ride, a Minions dark ride. I think that they could have done something like that in this park, and I just think that since they didn't, it kind of shows a lack of experience from the Universal crew when they made it. But overall, it is not a bad park. I think that giving it a couple more years will definitely iron it out. That's a very common thing with Universal open parks these past couple of years with Epic Universe and this park, is that they need a little while to iron out. They aren't a perfect idea at first, but when you think of theme parks, it's always happened to that extent. Like Disneyland, when it opened, it was not perfect. It was the opposite of perfect. It was a flawed idea that had great potential. And over time, they ironed out those issues, and look at it now. It's a great park. So overall, I would have to say that I am excited for the future of this park because I know Universal will invest in it, and I think that the attention to it right now is justified. But also, we need to realize that there needs to be a little bit more time given. I'm sorry for the screaming in the background again. But anyways, thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.